This one's going to be a hard one to make. And I just got this jersey too. What am I supposed to do with this? The New England Patriots have found themselves in a very interesting situation with two quarterbacks, Mac Jones and Bailey Zappe. It's a quarterback controversy, but here's the problem. They both kind of suck. The question is, who's been worse? Mac Jones had a good rookie year after New England drafted him in the first round, but there are still plenty of questions circling about just how good he was or if he could even replicate his success. So far, the answer is a big no. Mac Jones has struggled big time. He got a starting job back, but for how long? Week 7 was essentially the pinnacle of the Patriots quarterback controversy. Mac Jones suffered a high ankle sprain in week 3 and ended up missing 3 games because of it. Bailey Zappe was great over the span, and it sounded like maybe Mac wasn't 100% yet. Bill Belichick said that New England was going to play both of them on Monday Night Football against the Bears, and that's exactly what happened. But the way it happened raised a lot of questions. Mac started and he was bad. He completed 3 of 6 passes for 13 yards. In his first 3 drives of the game, New England punted twice, and then Mac threw a pick, which led to him being benched for Zappe. It looked like the worst case scenario for Mac Jones too. He gets benched out of nowhere, then Bailey Zappe came in and led back-to-back touchdown drives while looking pretty good. On the first drive, he hit Jacoby Myers for a 30-yard touchdown, and on the next drive, a 43-yard pass to Devontae Parker down the sideline led to a Ramondre Stevenson punch-in. He looked good, and then it quickly fell apart. The Patriots didn't score again, and Zappe ended up throwing 2 interceptions, got credited with a fumble, and had many tipped passes. The reality was, both quarterbacks were bad. The Bears' loss left some questions as to who was going to start against the Jets the following week, and Mac Jones ended up getting that call. He ended up throwing a touchdown to an interception, but most importantly, the Pats won. Mac was pressured a lot in the win though. He was sacked 6 times, but Bill Belichick did praise his decision making. It was a step in the right direction for Mac, but trust me, there's still a very, very long way to go this season, and I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Bailey Zappe again. He did what was asked of him in 3 games and played pretty well. There has to be at least some kind of reasoning as to why the Patriots drafted a quarterback in the 4th round. Not to mention, doing so 1 year after they used a first rounder on one. There was intrigue with Bailey Zappe, and he lived up to some of the hype. He did only start 2 games for the Patriots. Brian Hoyer was actually the week 4 starter, but ended up getting injured. But including that game Zappe came in for, he had 3 straight games with a passer rating over 100. It came with 4 touchdowns to only a single pick. Yeah, he didn't play as well against Chicago, but Zappe has a lot of buzz around him, and the second Mac starts to show his struggles, you can bet fans are going to start calling for Zappe to start again. Simply put, Mac Jones has just not been good this season. He suffered a high ankle sprain in week 3, and it led to him missing time. But even before the injury, he was struggling badly. In the first 2 weeks of the year, a loss to Miami and a win over the Steelers, Mac threw for a touchdown and an interception in each game. By far his worst performance of the season came versus Baltimore. He threw for over 300 yards for the only time this year and didn't throw a single touchdown, but did toss 3 picks. I think everyone knew what Mac Jones was coming into the pros, a system quarterback. He was a guy at Alabama that succeeded in a very good system with stacked talent all around him. If that was still the case in the NFL, he was probably going to have success. At times last season, that was the case. Now, the roster wasn't necessarily incredible, but everything from the Tom Brady era was still intact. The Patriots won games for 2 decades by having a structure, not really doing anything crazy, and relying on stability and culture to win football games. That was a huge reason for New England's success. Of course, Tom Brady left for Tampa Bay, and while there's no next Tom Brady, the system he had in New England was still there. The structure and culture that was built didn't go anywhere, and Mac Jones was able to fit right into that structure. Him being a Bama guy really helped that too when it comes to the similarities between Belichick and Nick Saban. Everyone felt it when Mac Jones got drafted by the Patriots. Mac looked and played like the perfect Tom Brady replacement, and he was, at least as a rookie. Mac Jones looked the part in his rookie season. He played in all 17 games and threw for 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, and and 13 interceptions. Mac didn't just perform well enough on the field, but he passed the eye test too. Mac Jones graded out as the 12th best quarterback in football. For comparison, Mac graded out at an 80. Patrick Mahomes was an 80.1. It was a very stable, promising first year, and the Patriots went 10-7 in the process and made the playoffs. Of course, nobody actually thought New England was one of the best teams in the league, and that was very clear in the wild card when the Bills just blasted them into space 47-17. There was at least some success last year with Mac Jones as the starting quarterback. All of a sudden, the Patriots' quarterback issues are really bad. So, what happened? I think the big thing that everyone has pointed out has been the play calling and just coaching in general. Bill Belichick is still in New England, even at 70 years old, but some of the coaches around him have changed. Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator for a while, but he left for the Raiders, and that left a big hole. A hole that was filled by two former failed head coaches, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. Patricia was just bad in Detroit, and Judge was terrible with the Giants. To make matters even worse, neither of them had actually called plays before this season, and that looks pretty clear. The offense has gotten significantly worse. So what do the Patriots do from here? Well, there's plenty of questions surrounding the Patriots, and I don't see any of them clearing up anytime soon. The biggest issue right now is quarterback. It's hard to see what the future looks like. You have to imagine that if Mac Jones starts really struggling again, Bailey Zappe could get another shot. That being said, the best way to go about things for New England probably is to just start Mac. The Patriots used a first-round pick on him. That's a lot of draft capital, and at the very least, the Patriots need to figure out if they have a serious guy or not. If Mac Jones is not good enough to be a starting NFL quarterback, the Patriots need to figure that out this season. Even if New England is losing, who really cares? Keep him in. It's not like New England is truly fighting for anything this year. This isn't the Patriots team of old. New England is not a top-tier football team. And trust me, Pats fans, that makes me sad too. They're the worst team in the AFC East. The Bills are incredible and maybe the best team in the league. New England knows that they can't compete with them. The Dolphins are good, and they still haven't lost a game this season that Tua Tagovailoa has played all of. Even the Jets have a winning record, and their defense is great. I wouldn't expect them to make a lot of noise, but it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. Although, they need to figure out their quarterback situation, maybe even more than the Patriots do. This is unprecedented territory for New England. The Patriots lucked out with 2 decades of very good quarterback play under Tom Brady. There was the hope that Mac Jones was going to be able to take the reins, but there is no next Tom Brady. This pains me to say, but there will never be another Tom Brady in New England. Mac was never going to be as good as Brady, but there was the hope and optimism that he'd be able to succeed in the set structure that New England had. And he did for one season, but things have only gone downhill since. And the unfortunate reality of right now is that Mac Jones has just been bad. I'm returning this jersey if he gets benched for Zappe again. You can guarantee that.